In this video, I'm going to show you how I created an NA8 workflow that automates YouTube marketing. Essentially what it does here is it takes a YouTube video and it repurposes it for 8 different social media platforms, as well as creates a blog post and an email that you can send out to your people on your mailing list. And I'm going to talk about a bigger problem that hopefully you're able to see on this automation. Now, this automation is big and bulky, and we're going to go through it all, but we're also going to talk about a problem that I'm seeing with this automation. Hopefully you're able to see it, and a bigger problem that is popping up in the automation, the AI agent industry. Hi, my name is Alston Godbold, and I teach platform proof profits. Basically what that means to you is I show you how you can make money online without having to worry about unpredictable and unstable algorithms. And if you want to be added to the globe, comment down below with your city, state, zip code, province, or country, and I'll get you pinned. Let me just show you real quick what I've done here. Essentially, it takes a YouTube video, eventually, right here, what you'll see here, I'm just going to zoom in here. Eventually, it'll be able to take a YouTube video, ID, everything that's important. It then takes this transcription and it summarizes it. The reason why we want to summarize it is so that we can actually create social media content, text posts, and even video posts that are relevant, right? So it takes it, and what's really important and really cool about this is it actually will chunk up the data, and what that means to you is it will, no matter how long the YouTube video is, in fact, the YouTube video that I did this for is like 30 minutes long, it'll take the video and it'll actually compress and give a summary about the whole thing. And what's really cool, what I really like about this, is it has a data loader and it actually puts it into JSON and it does everything for you. And once it summarizes it, so it takes the 30-minute script, summarizes it, it puts it back into a consumable merge so that we can put it into various social media platforms, right? And at the same time, it's creating a Google Drive. And what's really cool about this Google Drive is the Google Drive is based on the name, if I scroll down here, and then inside the name, it has the blog post, it has the YouTube thumbnail, and it also has the email that we can just copy and paste and send right out to our mailing list to get people to watch the YouTube video. So this one automation really does everything, as you can see down here. If I zoom in a little bit, this automation will actually create an email based on the summary, and then it will create a Google Doc with I think it's just called blog, and then it actually edits the Google Doc with the information from the AI agent. And then it does the same thing for email. But what's really cool is up here, it will post directly to Reddit. So if we look at this is one of my subreddits. It actually will post the title. It'll post the summary. The video summary explores using AI agents. We've got to clean that up, obviously. But it also includes a link. And again, this is all designed to save you time. Remember, people will buy things from you if you can save them time, save them money, help them make more money, or avoid frustration. And what's really cool about this is if I can create a link to get people to watch my content, or if I create a service, an AI agency service, where I can help fellow YouTubers save time by automating this process for them, and then just checking it once every few months or weeks to make sure that it's up and working, and it's working how they want it, people will pay you for it. Either people will pay you by watching your content, or people will pay you by you automating a process for them. So if we look at this, we're just going to scroll down a little bit. This also does this for X. So it takes the summary, it puts it into an AI agent, and then it outputs something consumable over on X. And if we take a look, you can see here, I've got the link, I've got a little blurb about what it is, and then it includes hashtags as well. Oops, let's get out of there. We'll go back over here. And then it does the same thing with Facebook. Facebook's kind of a pain to do, but once you get it figured out, you can actually put together a nice little post here. You can see I've been testing a little bit. And so I've got posts popping up every 2 or 3 minutes or so, and all automated. Again, think about how much time, if you've ever created a YouTube video or if you've ever posted on multiple places on social media, think about the time that it takes to get all of this stuff done. It might not seem like a lot, but it's just another step that a YouTuber has to do in order to do it successfully, in order to be good at his job or, make money. And then with this one, this one's actually Instagram. Again, Facebook and Instagram, their API is a little strange, a little bit weird, but I figured out I got it to work, and it actually will do an image. Now the images aren't pretty, but that's something I can work on and improve later on. But as you can see here, we've got an image, the thumbnail in fact, and then it actually has a little bit of text as well. What I would do is I would actually configure the text to make it a little bit more SEO friendly or search engine optimized so that people can discover it, add some more keywords, but it includes hashtags as well. But the really cool thing about this is that once you get this figured out, you'll spend hours trying to figure out and put this all together. But once you figure this out, or you download this API or download the JSON file and implement this into your business, this is one less thing you have to worry about. Now you probably want to check on it once a week or once a month to make sure everything's running correctly. But essentially, I've got the same thing over here on LinkedIn. If we come to LinkedIn here, you can see I've got a little blurb here. I already have a like from this, which is pretty cool. I have a little blurb here, and then I've got a link to the video. Again, this is all automated. This is one less thing that I have to worry about when it comes to getting more people to see my YouTube videos. Now, this person probably maybe didn't even watch the video, but it counts as a like, and it lets LinkedIn know that this is a good video that other people should check out. And then if we go down here, I even included Blue Sky as well. So if we look at Blue Sky, what you're going to see here is I've got a bunch of these little posts that are connected. So what's really cool about this is that you can set this up once. Anybody can do this, right? You can set this up once and you can do it again and again and again. You can keep adding different social media profiles. So if I want to, I actually have a whole list here of different social media profiles that I want to add. For example, I could add something like Pinterest, or maybe I could do a text post over on TikTok and Snapchat, which I'm really not big on. I don't think I have any friends over on Snapchat, or even Threads. Or then maybe I could take this and create a podcast. But what's really cool about all of this is that it can be done automated. It can be done on a trigger. Or if I wanted to, I could actually set up the trigger so that I send a message over to my chat agent on Telegram and say, I just uploaded a new video. Here's the link. Now take the video and do what you're going to do. And that could actually do the social media and all of that posting for you. But what's really cool and what I really want you to understand when it comes to using AI agents is that or selling it as a service, is that this can save you time. Think about the amount of time that I would have to spend even if I was doing this manually. So I've got my YouTube video and now I want to go over to ChatGPT and I've got to ask ChatGPT for a prompt, and it gives me a prompt. I then take that prompt and then I've got to make a post, right? And then I've got to turn around and do the same thing for Reddit and X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. This over the span of a year is going to probably save you days worth of time. And again, but I think this is such a fascinating and cool thing that you can do, and literally anybody can do it. The great thing about this is that it didn't require any code. You don't have to be a programmer or coder in order to do something like this. You just have to be willing to watch a few YouTube videos, a lot of YouTube videos in the very beginning, a little bit of trial and error, and deal with hurdles. None of this is roadblocks, and I talk about this a lot on my YouTube channel. There are hurdles and there are roadblocks. Hurdles are going to slow you down, but roadblocks are going to make you stop and turn around. A roadblock is like a tree falling down with power lines that are active during a storm, right? A hurdle is a speed bump. If you've driven in a shopping mall, you've encountered a speed bump to slow you down so that you don't you can knock kids over, right? But all of this can be figured out, and there are plenty of different use cases. I'm going to create another use case in another video later on where I create a specific AI agent that just uploads Instagram captions. It uploads one new Instagram caption an hour potentially, or every 3 hours to help grow my business. And again, this is something anybody can do. But now that we've talked about that, and I've ranted about how cool this is, or at least how cool I think this is for me, let's talk about the bigger issue. And hopefully you're able to see the bigger issue. And if you've done any programming in the past, you automatically see what the problem is. And I see this as a huge problem. And you can kind of tell the difference between the people that are have a coding background and people that are kind of new to coding and AI agents, because their workflows are going to look like this. The problem is, and it's a really big problem, I'll explain why. The problem is all of this stuff, all of this really should be modularized and put into its own workflow. And because this is relatively not complex, it's just something that required a bunch of time, you can kind of get away with it. You see, I've got all of these different lines going everywhere. This would be considered spaghetti code. What you would want to do is you'd want to set up a workflow that calls other workflows. And the best example of this is here on YouTube. On YouTube, it's not just one long line of code. They don't have probably a trillion lines of code. They've got code, a main source code that calls other source code or other functions. One of the big reasons why you want to do something like that, modularize your content or modularize your workflows or your AI agents, is so that you can repurpose your AI agents through multiple things. So for example, let's say instead of just having this one workflow create all of this stuff, right? Creates eight different social media platforms. What I'd want to do instead is see if I can break this down into tiny, smaller pieces where I have an AI agent that only does Reddit stuff, that only posts to Reddit, that has an AI agent that only writes blog posts or only does it because it's going to become more efficient, it's going to become better. And if something breaks, it's easier to fix. Through troubleshooting, and one of the reasons why it takes so long is if, let's say, this right here, this Facebook API breaks. I can't figure out what's going on. I now have to backtrack through the Facebook API, the AI agent Facebook page, back up to edit fields, merge. I've got to, kind of retrace my steps all the way back. That takes longer. But if I had this into separate workflows, if I just had a Facebook agent or a Facebook uploader workflow, I could see, okay, this is the error. I can retrace my steps easier. So one of the bigger problems that I'm seeing, and it's not a big problem yet, it becomes a big problem when it's a problem, is that a lot of people aren't just modularizing their workflows. They're having, this essentially would probably be like 1,000, 5,000 lines of code. If you were technical, that would matter. But what happens is you wind up having spaghetti code and you have stuff going all over the place. What I would do, and to make a better AI agent, what I will do going forward or should do, is I want to break these down into smaller chunks. So maybe I have just a chunk for creating just a workflow for creating Google folders. So it creates its only job is to create a Google folder. I have an AI agent or a workflow whose only job is to create Reddit passwords or Reddit accounts, whatever it might be. But so I thought this was pretty cool. I want to share this with you. It is something that you can do, but I would caution you when you start seeing all of this. And the reason why I have this is so that I could kind of show you the entire process. But when you start seeing all of these different lines going all of these different places, I start thinking to yourself, start asking yourself, how can I break this down into smaller pieces so that it's more efficient? And so that if it breaks, because code does break for whatever reason, how can I backtrack? How can I make this easier for me to figure out and debug and kind of catch any errors? The one other thing that I wanted to point out is I had to get a special package in order for this to run. This right here, this YouTube transcript is not native to N8N. And so this is a community thing. So someone out in the community created a thing that fetches the transcript and pulls it down. So that's not native to N8N, but I appreciate the person that did it. It's really cool. It allows me to get all of this done much, much quicker. Right? So just explain to you what the process normally is for me. I go over to Premiere Pro, I upload my video into Premiere Pro, and I do all the editing. And then once I'm done with the editing, I go and I separately download the transcript, because you can get the transcript from Premiere Pro. Once you get the transcript from Premiere Pro, I then take it over to ChatGPT and I say, edit this, act as an expert in creating blog posts, act as an expert in creating an email. And I'm spending that time, whereas I can upload a video, come back 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, and I can have all of this stuff done for me, getting engagement, getting more people to see my content. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I'm probably not going to share this one just because it's not perfect. There's still some bugs and some errors that need to be figured out. And this one can only run if you're running it on your local computer. So let me know if you have any questions about this one. I thought this one was kind of fun. But we'll see you in the next video.